What's up, everybody? It's time to review Survivor Heroes vs. Villains Episode 3. But before I get into my review, I want to give a quick update about the Survivor contest going on at CBS. The top 10 finalists were selected, and unfortunately, I wasn't picked as one of them. I knew it would be a really big long shot, but I did try, I gave it my all, and it wasn't good enough apparently. So I will say I am disappointed, but best of luck to the top 10 finalists, and I will be selecting the person I think should be getting a casting call back to LA. But I will say this as well, to the producers and the casting directors, I think that I would be a great addition for the show, and I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to give up until I get on Survivor, because it's one of my dreams to get on this show, and as long as Survivor keeps getting renewed, I'm going to keep applying for the show. So definitely watch out for me, because I will not give up. Alright, now on to my review. We leave off with Stephanie getting voted off, and it's back at the Heroes Camp, night 3. And James is still upset. He's telling everyone, I just want us to win. And Tom and Colby, they're trying to tell him, calm down. You went a little bit too hard. They feel like they're like basically on the bottom of the totem pole right now, the tribe, because they know they got all the numbers against them. So they're just trying to all smooth things over right now. JT pulls over Tom and tells him, sorry for voting off Steph, sorry for not being in an alliance with you. He's trying to cover his tracks, but of course Tom feels betrayed by JT, because JT did give him his word. They shook hands on it, but JT is definitely playing one of those snake kind of games, which I appreciate, because he's really playing hard. Because you got to play Survivor hard, but you got to wonder if that's going to bite him in the end. But more on JT later on. So they're trying to all come together. The Heroes tribe, they're just so not unified right now. There's not a lot of love in that tribe. So later on, I think it was like the next day, they try to catch chickens all together. They all unify with each other to catch chickens, and they kind of come together in that sense, which was, a good morale booster for them. So later on in the episode, JT and Candace are talking, and Candace is telling JT how she wants to be in an alliance with him, she trusts him, yada yada yada. But JT doesn't really trust Candace. JT kind of took her, lightly. But now he's seeing that she's kind of a serious player. So Amanda and Cirie are back in the shelter, and JT's talking to them. And JT decides to put a little story, and he tells Cirie that Candace basically says, "Oh, I don't trust Cirie," knowing that Cirie and Candace are kind of an alliance together. So that puts doubts in Cirie's mind, and Cirie confronts Candace. Candace, she basically denies it, which is true. She's telling the truth. She didn't talk bad about Cirie. So this goes on, Candace going on a witch hunt to find out who kind of, backtalked her. And she went up to Tom, she went up to James, she went up to a lot of other people, and everyone's saying, well, no, we don't know what's going on. So that kind of puts a bad light on Candace, because she's looking kind of paranoid, but also that can put a bad light on JT, because it's with Survivor, they do a lot of foreshadowing. And definitely, with all the lying and all the little back talking that JT is doing, I definitely see this coming back to bite him in the end. But that remains to be seen. So on to the villains tribe. We see Parvati and Russell. They're really smoozing. They're like huddling in a hut together at night. And Rob is talking about how it's really important to watch people sleep at night, because people sleep with their allies. They don't sleep next to the person they want to vote off. So Rob knows this from experience, because he was with Amber. And everyone's getting annoyed with Parvati. They see her as a threat, especially Coach and Jerry. So the next morning, Coach and Big Rob, or Boston Rob, goes to Russell and tells him, we don't think you should be like so tight with Parvati, because Parvati's known to be doing sneaky things. And Russell's taking it all in stride, because they don't know that he has an alliance with her already. So he's taking it all in stride. He's not really, thinking twice about what they're saying. He reports back to Parvati everything that Coach and Boston Rob is saying, and so she knows all the 411 about what's going on. She knows that people are talking about her behind her back, but she has this very good flirtatious type of game that she really can get people to do whatever she wants. So I think she does got Russell in her back pocket right now, but also I think Russell got Parvati in his back pocket. So there's like a two-way street there. But definitely the whole episode, in terms of the villains time, focuses on Parvati and whether or not they should get rid of her, because she's a threat, because she has so many friends on the Hero tribe with Cirie and Amanda and James. That whole Micronesia cast were really tight. And you know, most survivors live in LA and they all see each other and they're all really good friends. So keep that in mind while the episode is going on. So they're doing their thing, and you know, Russell and Bossa Rob, you can just tell the tensions brewing between them, and they're going to get into a showdown. So Russell, in his mind, he pulls a power play, and he decides to hide the machete because he figures that Bossa Rob is going to go crazy, and that's going to make Coach go crazy, and other people go nuts because they won't be able to cut up food or find food or cut the chicken. So sure enough, he hides the machete, he gets away with it. I don't know how he does this. How does he go off in the middle of the night, hides things, and no one sees anything that's going on? So he gets away with it. He hides the machete somewhere deep into the forest, and everyone's looking for it the next day. Randy finds a clam, and he can't cut it with a machete, so he tries to cut it. And meanwhile, Randy, who hasn't really gotten that much screen time the first, 2 episodes, he just comes out of nowhere, starts talking about how he doesn't feel like people are appreciating him, and that he finds food no one cares about, and he kind of is seen like the weakest person in the tribe, which is weird because you have Courtney and Sandra who are equally as weak, but I guess no attention is getting focused on them. So on to the challenge, and once again it's a 1 challenge episode, a combined reward immunity, and this time the reward is they get coffee, sugar, no, not sugar from the Heroes tribe, regular sugar, and it gets a luxury item from home. And of course, the ultimate reward is immunity and safe from tribal council. So it's basically one of those one-on-one matches where they gotta like hit each other and knock each other off a platform. They got these little pads and they're surrounded by mud. A very physical game that the Heroes completely dominated from start to finish. It was an 8-0 shutout. This complete ass whooping that the villains got their ass handed to them. So that was definitely something that the Heroes needed. They needed a big win. They got their win, and maybe this might put the momentum back on them right now because they was really just out for blood, and the villains didn't know what was coming to them. So now the villains get a chance to play the game finally, and they got to go to tribal council. They start to scramble, and once again all the talk is back on Parvati about how she's a threat, how we need to get rid of her because she got too many friends on the other tribe. And this is smart. Yes, she is a threat. She won the game before. She has a lot of friends. But then the focus goes on Randy because they say, well, Randy's weak. He's pathetic. He doesn't contribute much to the tribe. Okay, Randy is weak. Indeed, yes, he is. But why don't you get a threat out first? But will they be smart enough to do that? Remains to be seen. They go to tribal council, and there's like a lot of back talking. Cirie and Parvati all of a sudden got this kind of tension with each other. Jerry's saying stuff about, this is like before tribal council, how she wants to punch Parvati in the face, and Parvati saying that Jerry's a bitter old Kruger. So they've got all this tension going on, but they're at tribal council and they're talking, and they do talk about people with like past histories, pointing the light to Parvati. But in the end, it becomes a unanimous vote, and Randy is voted off. And Randy, he gives his vote to Bossa Rob because he just wants to put a mark to him and show people that Bossa Rob is one to be reckoned with. But Randy gets his torch snuffed, but before he goes, he takes his buff off and throws it into the fire, and that's the first time anyone has ever done that in Survivor, which I'm surprised it took him this long, because I've always thought about that too. Why don't people that's pissed off just take their buff off and throw it in the fire? So that was great to see. So Randy walks off, and it's sad because he was a really good character and good bone, but we really didn't see much of Randy here, so tough luck for him. But definitely a big mistake from the villains, and I hope it doesn't come back and bite them because I think Parvati is a big time threat, and I want to see her off my screen. I can't stand Parvati. So next week is going to be interesting. We get 2 hidden immunity idols finally come into play. Both tribes know about it, and both tribes are focusing on finding it. I hope Russell finds it for the villains, and I hope either Kobe or Tom finds it on the Heroes tribe. So that is my Survivor review. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was pretty fast, but gotta try to do this in under 10 minutes, folks. So hope you all have a great day. Talk to you later. Peace.